I am Mr. Rajesh Deo from Sportsnasha, is Kunal Mahashabde, and we have with us a legend of Mumbai cricket and a world record holder. And we watched him many times at Wankhede Stadium, and we are fortunate to have him with us for a pure cricket discussion. And who doesn't want cricket discussion? So Amol, on behalf of Sportsnasha, we welcome you.
Thank you very much.
And my first question to you, we have so many questions. I know 1 day, 2 days, 3 days are not sufficient to talk to you on cricket. But my first question is, how do you turn to cricket in your childhood?
Well, it's been a long journey, but my father was an instrumental figure in me turning towards cricket, because he was a very well-known figure in Mumbai's club cricket scene. So I all that I remember in childhood was that him throwing me balls, and we had a small courtyard. We used to live in Kalina in Sundarnagar, a small house. In front of the house there was a small sort of a courtyard, and I'm amazed that my father has thrown probably lakhs and lakhs of balls to me. And one thing that used to ring my ears all the time, even now I remember that sentence, defense kar, and that was something really that struck a chord with me. And for n number of years he did that, and that's one of the reasons, and that's the pivotal thing what my father gave me was an addiction towards cricket.
So Amol, any special memories about those practice days?
Oh, there are thousands of memories, but it was a unique time actually to play cricket. I mean, I may be a little biased towards towards that era of 70s and 80s. I may be a little biased, but so be it. I've grown up in that era of 80s. It was a unique time, especially in Shivaji Park. It was a fantastic time to grow as a cricketer. It was just, it was a terrific finishing school, I would say, Shivaji Park. And, from Anna Vaidya, I used to practice at Anna Vaidya's nets. From there to shift to Achrekar sir, I think that was a great time to play cricket. I grew up in that era, and I was very fortunate. People talk about me not playing for India and very unfortunate. I have got absolute opposite views about it, and I'm extremely fortunate guy to have played cricket and grew up in that era of 80s, because it was so like nasha 80s se nasha hoti. There were several teachers, I would say they were gurus, who used to tell us the importance of technique. Somebody like Anna Vaidya, Achrekar sir, V.S. Patil hote, then Hanuman Singh.
Yes.
I was fortunate enough to do a lot of camps with Hanuman Singh sir. Amazing coach, amazing. The finishing touches that he used to give in those camps that I attended, I don't think anybody could have done that. He was a phenomenal coach. Vasu Paranspe sir. So all those gurus contributed towards me getting better at my game. I don't know how I developed a strong technique, but as I said, in the first answer I said about my father saying defense kar. So I had, I had a very strong defense. At times in India, there are, you will always be labelled. I had a penchant, I had a strong feeling towards big scores. I was told, right from the beginning, I was told that if you want to make waves in Mumbai cricket or Indian cricket, you'll have to score big. And, as what we call it, daddy hundreds. 150s, 175s, even 200s. But what happens with that is that I I used to get those big hundreds. I was, definitely getting those big hundreds regularly in junior cricket. What happens is that sometimes you get labelled, in India, that he is good for Test cricket. And this guy, if he's not getting those big hundreds, then he's labelled as one-day cricketer. Right. And probably that went against me, that I was labelled as a Test cricketer with a strong technique. But I cannot remember a single game that I put my team under pressure by scoring slowly. Okay. I was a very busy player. The technique was my forte, but also being busy and keeping the scoreboard ticking was my my actually USP.
True. What about your world record? 268 Faridabad. Just want to know a few things about that.
That was a very special day in my life, and it changed my life completely. Turned it upside down. Ever since I was 8 years old, I used to go for a long jogs in the morning, and I often used to while coming back, my father used to send me for a jog earlier, 6 o'clock in the morning. He used to send me for a jog, and when I used to come back walking, I used to give interviews, dreaming about giving interviews on my own. I used to give it, and as luck would have it, I used to dream about giving an interview in my very first game, playing with Ravi Shastri. And as I said, as luck would have it, in 93-94 I made my debut under Ravi Shastri. And suddenly, there came a day where I couldn't put a foot wrong. That was my day under the sun. And it changed my life completely. I was batting 245 at the end of the second day, and I literally was giving an interview alongside Ravi Shastri, who was my childhood hero. So they say that dreams come true, they really come true.
So coming back to that particular match, how did you get motivated to play for Mumbai when you were playing under 19?
When you're growing up in Mumbai Maidans, you're always told about the stories, the folklore of Ajit Wadekar and Dilip Sardesai. We grew up on those stories, and Sunil Gavaskar and Venkasarkar. We grew up on those stories. My father used to talk about Vijay Manjrekar, Ramakant Desai. My house talks were always revolved around Mumbai cricket. So that was one of the dreams that as a child I remember. I used to dream playing for Mumbai. And so it wasn't much of a motivation kind of a thing. It was just my dream, and I was following my dream.
Any memories about Mumbai dressing room? Because that's what everybody wants to know.
Because you have played under such a variety of generation of players, and maybe from Ravi to right now Ajinkya.
And there were some special moments and something special in Mumbai dressing room, that Khadu's approach and everything. We want to know.
Mumbai dressing room is always a very very pious place, and there is a strong bond in the dressing room, and we always used to believe that what happens in the dressing room stays in the dressing room. It doesn't go out of the four walls. But I had the fortune to play with, as you said, variety of players. With Ravi Shastri, the team meetings that we had with Ravi, Sanjay Manjrekar's immaculate calculations.
He is still that way.
Yeah, he is. Sachin Tendulkar's aura. Vinod Kambli's flamboyance, Wasim Jafar's steady and cool demeanor in the dressing room. So there were a lot of characters who built the team, and I was fortunate enough to share the dressing room alongside with them. And so the dressing room talks were amazing. I mean, you will never find a dull moment when Vinod Kambli was around. Never a dull moment. It was amazing. I mean, he was the only guy who could speak his mind out in front of Tendulkar. I mean, although we had played with Sachin right from our school days, but boy, we could not cross a line, with those great players. But Kamli was different. He was a different kettle of fish. It was great fun, and the songs that he sung and the jokes that he cracked. There was something else with Vinod Kamli. As I said, the flamboyance. He carried the flamboyance with him. And it was terrific sharing the dressing room. And I think 90s, that period, that Mumbai team was as strong as you can get. Wasim Jafar opening the innings alongside Samir Dige, number 3 Sanjay Manjrekar, number 4 Tendulkar, 5 Kamli, 6 Muzumdar, myself, 7 Bahutule. So, and then 3 fast bowlers to follow, Ankola, Kuruvilla and Mamre and Nilesh Kulkarni. So that was a strong Mumbai side. It was great fortune of me to have played alongside them.
I remember a match in 99-2000 when I was a small child. My father had taken me to the stadium. It was at Mankhede. It was, I think, against Tamil Nadu.
Oh, game.
Sachin had scored a double century.
Yeah. It was a very crunch situation. I mean, I've never faced, that kind of pressure. Huge scores. Tamil Nadu, I think, got 497, and we could not lose the game. At Wankhede, it was like a fortress. We just could not lose a game, and with a full Mumbai side, Tendulkar, included, we just could not lose it, and we had to really dig in deep. Sachin, I think, if I am not wrong, I can go on record and say this, that even he reckons that it was one of his best innings that he has ever played in first class cricket. That 240 odd. It was amazing. I've never seen batting as brilliant as that one.
And if I may ask, what was your toughest situation ever to bat in and take the team home as well?
Oh, there have been, in a span of 20-21 years, what I played in first class cricket, it's hard to pinpoint one tough one. But there were times, there were a couple of games which I remember very precisely. One was here against Bengal. It was a league game, but the pitch was, it wasn't a typical Wankhede pitch where it had a little bit of bounce, but it was a pitch where there was a lot of grass left on it, and and plus it was a little bit of a bouncier track, so the ball was moving sideways. Sideways means it was literally going, it was doing a little too much. And I remember going to Sudhir Naik sir, who was a curator then, and I just हात जोडले नंतर मॅच नंतर म्हटलं सर पुन्हा ही नको देव ही नका देव कारण it was such the ball was doing a little too much and I got 100 there against a good Bengal attack. It was Ranadeep Bose, Ashok Dinda, and there was that Paul. It was a tall fast bowler. Good. It was a good Bengal attack, and Lakshmi Ratan Shukla. So there was 4-5 guys, and it was really. I think Wasim Jafar in one of his interviews also he said that is one of the best hundreds that Amol has scored. So that was one, and one match I remember as a captain in that historic 2006-07 season. It was the semi-finals against Baroda at Moti Bagh.
Okay.
And Ashok Mankad was the coach of Baroda that time. In that game, I went past Ashok Mankad. I went past Ashok Mankad's highest runs for Mumbai. It was a semi-final game. It was a crunch game, anyways. The wicket wasn't again the best. It was right at the corner of Moti Bagh pitch, right at the square, right at the corner. I think that's one of the ways what outside teams do against Mumbai, that they give a little underprepared wicket, so that is their only chance. If they give a flat deck, I think they've got a little bit of a psychological fear within them. So they gave us a track which was absolutely on the side. It was on a slope like Lords, literally like this. The grass was thick and pronounced, and there were cracks as wide as these two fingers, right across the ground, across the 22 yards. The first day I saw the pitch, I said, this is post. I wasn't hoping this one for a semi-finals, but Ashok Mankad, being their coach, gave us that. Funnily, and luckily, I got 98 on that first day, and we got to 235. And as I was walking back, I batted the entire day. We were 0 for 2, and then I got 98 entire day, and we got 235. And as I was walking back, Ashok Mankad, hugged me, and I had one past his record, and he said, "Yehi match mila tha karne." I had a lot of respect for Ashok Mankad. I had a lot of respect for Kaka, as we fondly called him. I hugged him back, and I, thanked him for his inspiration and all those things. And one of the journalists told me, 235, is that enough? I said, I have batted on it for the entire day. Believe me, it's as good as 400 on any other track. And it turned out to be. The next 3 innings, Baroda's 2 innings and Mumbai's 1 innings, it was 110 average score. Next 3 innings, it was that bad a track. And the second innings, why I remember that match again, because Mumbai was 0 for 5. I was the 5th man out on 0.
In the second innings.
In the second innings.
Samant
got a 50, but Mumbai went on to win the game. So, that was one game which really has struck a chord with me. That, that was, even though Mumbai could be 0 for 5, but nobody can take them lightly. That is the message.
From that, they won the match.
That is where the Khadus mentality comes from.
0 for 5 to victory. Now, Amol, about crisis, youngsters would like to know that some different batting must be required there. But you were always a crisis man for Mumbai. Any special tips how to get along in a crisis?
See, I personally feel it's a little inborn to fight it out in the middle. You can be aggressive off the field. You could be very in your own zone off the field. But on the field, when the team really needs you, there is a quality that describes you, and sometimes it is inborn. And if I just look back at my career, I think I had that one streak in me that I will not leave my crease. Sometimes I've gone a little overboard. But while batting, I had this thing in my mind that against Bengal, when I said about that innings, they were trying to get me by sledging, and the pitch was bad as well. And I said to myself, मराठीत बोलतो, अर्थक्वेक आला तरी चालेल, पण आज मी क्रीज मधनं हलणार नाही. तुम्हाला काय जे करायचं ते करा. But certain things are inborn, certain things could inspire you, but sometimes there are players I've seen that crisis, they go defensive and they go inward, and they could put a lot of pressure on themselves. I think if you can see crisis as an opportunity, then everything else falls in its place. And I looked at crisis as an opportunity.
Well, of late, there are a lot of controversies about pitch, even in international cricket, wickets. Some controversies were there. So, isn't it a good idea, like neutral umpires? And we have neutral curators. Somebody had suggested this also.
I personally feel we do a lot of hue and cry about pitches in India. Of course, they should not be doctored. I personally believe they should not be doctored. But can you imagine a Perth pitch in 60s and 70s where the ball wasn't flying? Do you remember an Old Trafford pitch where the ball wasn't going sideways? Do you remember a Barbados test match where opposition didn't get out under 200? It used to happen earlier. It just happened abroad. That's why we have not spoken about it.
Right.
Now it's happening in India, and we have built a fort over here in India.
For spinners.
I personally feel it should not be doctored, as in really stitched up, but give an Indian track.
Correct.
If you get a placid track like Sharjah in India, what's the fun? We want contest.
Correct.
And why we were so glued to television when a Perth test match happened, because there was a contest between bat and ball.
Right.
Why our ears were all listening to the radio commentary at Barbados test match, because the ball was flying all over the place. There was a contest between bat and ball. I think we make a lot of hue and cry about our pitches. They should not be doctored again, but they should be left as Indian pitches.
Some even for bowlers and batsmen. Correct.
Exactly.